Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I just wanted to talk to you briefly today about the going-ons in Kenyan politics. By the way, for those of you Arsenal fans, who I know is the majority of you, poleni sana. I think this is the first leg, PSG versus Arsenal, and PSG just defeated Arsenal. I missed the game, but I was following. But anyway, that's not the topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, let's get with the formalities first. If this is your first time in this channel and you're wondering what this channel is about Kenyan politics and world politics as it relates to Kenya, right? So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Hurry up, quick, right now. Boom, hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed and you had your notification on, the first order of business is what? Like the video, okay? And if you've liked the video, make sure for you, those new subscribers, please make sure you have your notification on. So every time I come in, you can always find me here and we can discuss about the going-ons in Kenya. So let's get to it. I won't waste much of your time. I just want to speak about politically what's been going on in Kenya. So now there seems to be a little spat, just itty bitty spat between Martha Karua and Kebaso, Morara. Remember that guy? Yeah, him. Karibu sana Ani, nakuona hapo. Karibu. Haven't seen you for a while. Siku hizi unaingianga na unatoka. Hatukuoni kila siku. But ni sawa. Nice seeing you. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is this. Leo Martha Karua alikuwa anakorofishana na Kebaso. For those of you who missed it, it's on the tweets. It's on the tweets, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. If you're following me on my tweets, you know I take special interest every time Martha Karua says something, you know? Yeah. But anyway, it's not about her. It's about their little spat with Morara Kebaso. So there's a picture that was posted. I think Martha Karua or somebody posted it. It's a picture of Omalwa, Gachagua. Who else was there? Omalwa, Gachagua. All the usual suspects. Let me see this picture. Let me take a look at it. It's a funny picture, actually. It's a picture of the so-called opposition. Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, Gachagua, Wamalwa, Matiangi, what's this guy? Linturi, special interest, of course, special interest, not just interest, special interest, okay? So they took that picture, Linturi and Muturi, and I think it's Professor something. I forgot his name. Professor something. Somebody. I don't know. He looks familiar. But is it? Yeah, it's that. Remember that professor that was one time? I mean, he had alipatikana kitandani na one of these what you call it, influencers, and they took a picture of him naked, basically. You know. Yeah, that one. I forgot his name. Remind me on the chat, whatever, if you know that one. But anyway, the picture is on. The picture was posted by Martha Karua, I believe. And Kebaso, Kebaso came out and said, what did he say? Let me read it verbatim, okay? Linturi, not Linturi. Yeah, Linturi was one of them. Watch Linturi. There's a guy, professor, is a Kutui, is a Kamba guy, named Kamba. Not Linturi. Linturi is it a Embu or Meru, whatever the case is. Not Linturi. Linturi najua pia alishikwa kama aliingia kwa bedroom ya mtu na akijifanya ati amelewa, he doesn't know where he is. I'm telling you, these are the people who want to run for president for 2026 or 2027, whatever the case is. Yes, Mikisa or Mukisa, whatever his name is. Yeah, that huyo Mukisa, huyo ndio nilikuwa nasema. Yes, that one, huyo. So so Morara Kebaso, an opportunist that we have deconstructed in this channel. I told you these guys are not hard to read. These people are ananga. They're so obvious. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, Morara Kebaso being Kitui, yes, Kitui Mukisa or something. Yeah, thank you, Annie. Kitui Mukisa. He was one of those people who were taking a picture with those. There's a picture of a bunch of losers, basically. A bunch of losers coming together taking a picture. They are the opposition come 2020. Bunch of nonsense. Bunch of baloney. But anyway, so Morara came out and fired a shot, okay, and said in his tweet, Of course, Morara is also another opportunist, probably a government-funded agent trying to, lure the youth. But the youth are, Walimonea 18, they're not buying in his crap. So he's trying to stay relevant. Hizo madakdari zake na kuombaomba pesa, people got tired of it. So now he has to try to stay relevant in whichever way he can. So anyway, he tweeted in his tweets and said, "Is this what Gen Z's died for?" Talking about the picture of Martha Karua and the rest of the losers. Is this what Gen Z's died for? Is this the future we wanted? So we are removing Ruto to replace him with a former corrupt tribal deputy president, a former corrupt CS who presided over the killing of Kenyans, throwing them in rivers, a former corrupt CS who has held 4 cabinet positions and never changed anything, and a former corrupt fake fertilizer CS who was charged with rape in a court of law. This is unity without vision, unity without purpose. I urge all young people of Kenya to reject this coalition of tumbocrats and projects funded by the guy who stole 6 trillion from this nation. Let all young leaders come together and chart a new path for Kenya. I am ready to sit down with progressive leaders who lack experience of theft. We will not recycle the problem to solve the problem. Karibu sana Gypsy Corner. Like the video tafadhali. As soon as you know, naona mmeingia hapo haya. Okay, so basically it's funny because they're attacking each other. Of course, Morara's problem is that he's trying to anajaribu kujitoa from this the usual suspect, the same recycled politicians, the Matiang'i, the Kalonzo, the Karua, the Gachagua, the Wamalwas. He's trying to do that. That's the whole purpose of this. Because Sababu Morara understands, and I'm sure he watches social media and all these kind of channels. I don't know if he watches my channel, but if he does, I think that's healthy for him because I am your political dietitian. So I'll give you the nutrients that you need and the healthy, heavy dose of reality, truth that will help you, navigate through this political terrain, okay? Especially the Kenyan one, okay? So tune in and subscribe, like, share, comment, and do all the good stuff, okay? So anyway, after Morara said this, he's kind of accurate. He's right, okay? The problem is not what he says, but the problem is also Morara is no different from these guys because Francis Gaibo kind of called him out on this and said something that was very, very important. Not very important, but I'm saying he just highlighted the hypocrisy of Morara. You have done the first order of business. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner, for doing the do. Thank you so much. So Martha Karua took issue with this, and she replied. Actually, she replied. What did she say? Let's read what Martha said. So Martha Karua said, this is what Martha Karua's reply was. Kasongo ordered the Gen Z to be killed in order to remain in power. The focus should be bringing him and his accomplices to account. Any other discussions that deviate from the topic are state-sponsored diversion tactics from #blood parliament. So this is what interests me about the reply by Martha Karua. Martha Karua's reply was not to dispute what Morara actually tweeted, because like I said, the message by Morara's tweet was actually accurate. Even though Morara is a pinhead, okay? He's a freaking opportunist. We know that. That's not the issue here, okay? Thank you. I have to highlight that one. Didn't deny it. Did not deny. Love it. Kumbe, you caught it, Annie. I like your presence here. She never denied what Morara said. The only thing she said was that anything, basically, in short, Karua was basically saying that the goal is should be removing Kasongo. Anything other than that is a diversionary tactic by Kasongo's sponsored people, basically saying that Morara is sponsored and is diverting from the issue of the day, which is Blood Parliament, the documentary that basically depicts the Kenyan government, KDF and Kenyan police basically being, not only complicit, but, or involved in this whole killings that happened, okay? So, like I said, I like that Annie highlighted the fact that Martha Karua did not deny what Morara was saying, okay? Like I say, Morara was right. The problem is, Morara is no different. Yes, we can say that he has never been in government, he has never been on this, but for his short stint in public limelight, we can see how he has flip-flopped, tried to associate himself with different political movements, different political figures, even these very idiots that you see taking a picture here with Martha Karua and the gang, okay? So he is no different. Karibu sana WS Banker, I see you. First order of business, tafadhali usikose. Go ahead and hit that like button. Naongea na nyinyi leo, okay? So, again, like I say, these guys are, asitubebe, but I'm glad you caught it. These guys are exposing each other, even within themselves, yani wanaji enjoy. I mean, how can they seriously think that siku ya Jumanne njema hujambo Ani, okay? Ani anasalimia huko kwa comment section, okay? So anyway, the point is that our majamaa I don't know how seriously they honestly think that we, the Kenyan people, will seriously consider them as serious candidates for presidency, okay? Given their history. These are the same old ragtags. And anyway, so that's the spot, but then Gaito did not spare them either. I'll highlight your picture, then he mentioned something. I have to read it very quickly. Please listen to this. Power is not given, it's taken. He started in his tweet. He wrote, number 1, Martha Karua, born September 22nd, 1957, age 68. Fred Matiang'i, born in 1966, age 59 years old. Rigathi Gachagua, born in February 28, 1965, age 60 years. Eugene Wamalwa, born in April 1st, age 58. Mukisa Kitui, born 1956, age 69. Kalonzo Musyoka, born in December 24th, 1953, age 72 years. Justin Muturi, born April 28, 1956, age 69. Mithika Linturi, born 1966, age 59. The median age of the listed individuals is 66 years old. Median age of the Kenyan population is what? 20 to 21 years old. Difference is 66. Okay, 66 minus 21 is 45 years approximately. Basically making the point that these guys, they're old. Nobody is being represented by the youth. But anyway, I know the point he's making there, but I usually stay away from this whole idea of saying that, we need youth. Yes, we do need youth to be part of the, our representatives, okay? It's not a bad thing, but let it not be the only qualifying factor when you're considering somebody for presidency or gubernatorial seat or Senate or MC or whatever the representative post that candidate is running for, okay? Let age not be the sole factor or reason for voting for that person. Let that person be, someone who has a proven record of, integrity, someone who can pass chapter 6 of the Constitution, okay, chapter 10, somebody who has a track record of development, somebody who's pro-people, somebody who's honest, somebody who's not an opportunist. Because if you look at Marara Kebaso, the guy is what, 29, 30, whatever the case is. But if you look at his if you look at his track record, even within the last 2 years or 1 year that he popped up, as you know, with his Diaries, Vampire Diaries, you can see that this guy is not ideologically, he's not principled. He's an opportunist, just like Martha Karua and the rest of these idiots. Okay, there's nothing special about him. This guy just jumps here and there, whoever is popping, that's who he wants to tag along with. And actually, somebody really actually called him out on this. Okay, called him out in this. If I can find that piece, I would read it. But somebody just highlighted the fact that, ooh, crap, my camera almost fell. Sorry, guys. I'm adjusting. Pulling. Yeah. So let me see. Gypsy Kona is saying, let me see this comment saying, we don't have anyone in Kenya who cares about the public. It's all about their selfish interest. Most of these people have been around for the past 175 years, while the young adults are that's true, very true. The problem is, since we have a huge disparity between, you know, the poor and the rich, the poor or the bottom, anyone who wants to run for any representative post, elected post, basically, eyes these positions as a free ticket to, you know, becoming a millionaire, overnight millionaire. That's why we have a bunch of people who are compromised. The ground nearly swallowed it. Yes. Oh, it will never. God will never do that to me, Nani, Gypsy Corner. God will not do me that, Nenio. I see WS Banker was saying, walk with Ibrahim, April 30th. So tomorrow it will, I think it's tomorrow. I saw something from South Africans. They're going to walk in protest in defense of Ibrahim Traore, you know, basically warning the West, do not touch our son. So basically that's what it is. Very interesting, very, very interesting. So another thing, very quickly, Gachagua. I don't know if you guys saw the clip with Gachagua and I don't know who that news interviewer was, but it was so funny because Gachagua was saying ati Ruto awache kutuma Oscar Sudi na Murkomen kutukana rais kutukana what's his name, Uhuru Kenyatta. And the reporter was like, I mean, that was really bold of him. He was like, na wewe nani alikutuma? That was crazy. When you were talking crap about Uhuru Kenyatta, and Gachagua was like, oh, that was our difference. That was a golden moment, but it was so funny. Speaking of Gachagua, I just want to say that Gachagua ni kama ameisha steam. I've been saying this. Gachagua is an imbecile, okay? He's a freaking part of this whole Ruto political oligarchs that are playing the crowd, okay? He's pretending. I like the fact that guy actually highlighted what I've been saying here for the longest, mentioning how Gachagua wants to associate himself with the Gen Z. We stopped, you know, the movement was all about, you know, changing the regime. You know, it was about finance bill, social justice, the rule of law, freedom of speech, all that. But this idiot thinks that since majority of Kenyans were saying Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, he thought, you know, it was all about him because people are feeling sorry for, because people are highlighting the unconstitutional nature in which they impeached him. But he mistakenly took that and thought that the Gen Z were actually for him. Of course, there's some people who still buy into his crap. Okay, with him, every opportunity gets at him. Watu wa mlima. Listen, this is not about watu wa mlima or watu wa sijui Central, watu wa sijui Nyanza, sijui watu wa sijui Wajir. This is about Kenyans, okay? That's the same thing we've been telling the ODM idiots over there, the Kalumas and the rest of them, okay? Because they try to play this ping pong game between the two, the people of Nyanza and the people of, oh, let me fix that. Sorry, let me fix this. I meant to say this corrupt political leaders, not even leaders, they are crooks from the ODM party, along with Gachagua and his allies. They are playing this ping pong, tribal ping pong game where they are exchanging insults. Each of them are complaining about how their region is not being developed. I mean, if you listen to Gachagua, yes, thank you. Yes. Thank God for Gaito. I mean, there's some people. Yeah, the reason why Gaito is so important into like Ninio exposing this idiot Gachagua is because Gaito is actually from that community, okay? And he's saying, no, usikuja hapo ujifanya ati ni mambo ya mlima. While you are supporting Ruto into, dealing with Gen Zs, saizi ukishatolewa ndo unaanza mambo ya mlima. Stop it. So yeah, but I like the fact that Gaito is actually somebody from Murima and he's standing for the truth, okay? He's not buying into, he's opening the youth's eyes, reminding them that, hey, listen, don't be buying into this guy's nonsense. So what I'm saying is this: if you notice now, even there was some stupid guy who went to NTV, that show where Nani Yako, that show, what is it called? Fixing the Nation or whatever the case. He was an ODM guy, but he kept on conflating the two things: ODM the party and Luo the tribe. And he was speaking as if ODM was basically speaking for the Luos, okay? Not considering that, even people, a chunk of people, a good number of people that come from Luo Nyanza do not like ODM, okay? Do not support it, okay? So even though the Kalumas are making all these silly statements every other day, no one is supporting them, even people on the background, okay? And we know the nature of how elections are conducted. I do not have to remind you of how the violence and intimidation, people get intimidated and killed, and violence is used against you if you stand up against ODM party, okay? Like, that's why I call them a criminal organization. They are a criminal organization. ODM is a terrorist organization. They've been terrorizing Luo Nyanza and anyone that stands up against it. But anyway, there was this guy who was at Fix the Nation. I don't know his name. And he was basically doing the same thing that Gachagua is doing. You can obviously see that the ODM folks, especially the idiots that just joined the government with Ruto, they keep on attacking. That's the script. They keep on attacking the people of Mount Kenya by mentioning, wameshakuwa kwa power, they had the presidency for a long time. We've been ostracized. We've been on the forefronts of Mandamano, of liberation, just a bunch of nonsense, okay? But it is designed to actually spark and divide and remove focus from the real issue, which is what? The incompetence by the executive and the political class as a whole, the corruption, the ditch that they've got us into. But they want to divert attention from that by making it about tribal difference, historical injustice, historically how we've always aligned ourselves politically. That's why you see everyone from the ODM side, they always make it a point. Oh, it's good now that we have been government because historically we've been ostracized, we've been outside of the government. So now finally we have a president who actually just made people from our area to be in the cabinet. You Mbadi and all these idiots that are there who are not doing anything for the Luo Nyanza people. They're just there, okay? Then on the other side, Gachagua is doing his job. I mean, that's why I keep on stressing. Don't you find it interesting that Gachagua, no matter what, his theme is the same. He keeps on making it unapologetically, keeps on making it about Murima. Oh, I mean, if you listen to his interviews, all he says, I mean, this guy had the audacity to stand up and say, oh, when we were in power, when Ruto came in the office, we had 8 CSS from our people, from our backyard. Now we are left with 1. Now, what is this? Like, what kind of politics is this? You should be standing up there and saying, if you are real, a principled politician, you should sit there and say that, oh, when Ruto came in, I'm just using this as an example. If Ruto won, and I believe that he will stick to the principles of democracy, developing every part of the nation as we promised the people of Kenya in our manifesto. But I was taken out because I spoke against his deviation from the manifesto, the agreement that we had for our supporters. And so our difference is a matter of differences in principle. Okay, grounded in ideological philosophy, political ideology, and so forth, so forth. Okay, not that we had 4 CSS from Mount Kenya, and you know me, I always care about our people. So Moses Kuria was removed, Lituri was removed. Lituri is corrupt. So even if he's from Mount Kenya or he's from Nyanza or he's from Masai, Lituri is corrupt. It doesn't matter. Who cares where he comes from? He's corrupt. That's the whole thing. We can care less if you're from Samburu or Masai or Rendile or Somali or Luo or Luya, Kamba, Mijikenda, Kikuyu, whatever. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. Go. We don't care. So that's the problem. That's the game that they're playing. That's why Gachagua is running out of content. Okay, he's a content creator. Okay, Gachagua is running out of content. He has nothing to talk about. Yeah, of Ruto and Uhuru. Exactly. Always speaking about the mistreatment of this, mistreatment of that, mistreatment, but he's not saying anything new. That's why I like what Nani alisema hapa. I like what Gaito, who was actually deconstructing, Gaito said this, and I will read it very quickly so you can get it, and I like it. It's in his page. This is what he said. Regarding Gachagua, Kenya's former deputy president was impeached in October 2024 based on his self-induced infractions, including corruption, insubordination, and promoting ethnically divisive politics, marking a historic first under the 2010 constitution. His impeachment, backed by Ruto's coalition and opposition leader Raila Odinga's allies, was seen by some as a political maneuver to distract from the Gen Z revolt and reinforce ethnic politics. Booyah! I'll read that part again because this is what I've been saying all along. I'm so glad somebody has put it in words, proper words. Okay? His impeachment, backed by Ruto's coalition and opposition leader Raila Odinga. Remember, Raila Odinga and Ruto came together to work on something to remove Gachagua, right? It was done intentionally. Why? Hear me out. Let's get to the why. This is what he says, and I've been saying this on most of my videos. He says, okay, Odinga's allies was seen by some, and I'm one of them, as a political maneuver to distract from the Gen Z revolt and reinforce ethnic politics. So this whole Gachagua alitolewa na Ruto and Raila, okay? Then notice how after Gachagua was removed, the focus was now on ethnic tribal politics. It was brought up another notch. Kaluma on the other side, Gachagua on the other side. Oh, sisi watu wa Mlima, we are being removed from government. We are being isolated. Yes. Alafu na hao watu wanini wajaluo. Oh, we've never been in positions. Sasa tumewekwa kwa government as if. Anyway. So post-impeachment, thank you, WS Banker, reinforced ethnic politics division by Western. Yes, absolutely. Post-impeachment, Gachagua has desperately tried to position himself as an opposition figure by funding bloggers like It's Kiprono, who faked his own abduction with DCI Kenya, and media houses for never-ending interviews with nothing new or significant to share. Haven't you wondered? That's why this is the question I always ask. Like yesterday or the day before, or whatever the case I say the same thing. I was like, if Gachagua really has beef with Ruto, do you think Ruto will not try to muzzle him? Do you still think he would be securing interviews in KTN and all these major news stations. No. These people are also working with Gachagua and Ruto to continue with this whole ethnic division. Wanajaribu kuleta hiyo division. Ndio turudi kwa ile politics ya kitambo how we used to do politics, because the Gen Zs introduce a new revolutionary way of doing politics, which does not care about parties, ethnicity, or whatever, okay, or tribe, or leadership. Hakuna mambo ya kusema Raila perengenge sijui nini, Raila or Moi ndio baba wa taifa, baba wa sijui nini, squeeze Raila ndio baba, ore mudamaki sijui nini chinkorokoro. I don't know what, all that nonsense. No, Gen Z said none of that. You guys are corrupt, regardless of what ethnic group you come from, what part of Kenya you come from. Nyinyi mko corrupt. So we are going to have a new way of doing politics. Tunaenda kuungana kama wa Kenya, Gen zote, na tuwatoe nyote. Karua nje, Matiangi Kamsioka, Kutui, Wamalwa, nyote, Wetangula, uko. So as you can see, post-impeachment, Gachagua has desperately tried to position himself as an opposition figure by funding bloggers like Iprono, who faked his own abduction by the help of DCI, and media houses for never-ending interviews with nothing new or significant to say. Every time he has an interview, explosive, exclusive, breaking news, Gachagua is anaenda kutoboa. What do you hear? The same nonsense. Oh yeah. I'll tell you about Ogola. Ruto is owns nini. Ruto is doing business in Congo. Ruto is doing business. We know those things. We know he's corrupt. Tell us something new, Nani. Jana ulikuwa unasikia, there's 2 drug barons in the cabinet. Malala told us that, and we knew that before even Malala told us. We know that. So I totally say my vitu kitambo. We know who they are. Stop it. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. His cheap and empty rhetoric, often centered on regional grievances and perceived betrayals by Ruto. Again, he will talk about how Ruto betrayed the, people of Murima, how he has betrayed him. Has reverted to tribalistic tones, clashing with the Gen Z's movement's tribeless, partyless, leaderless ethos that championed shared prosperity and unity during the 2024 protest. Gachagua's polarizing history as Ruto's political bulldog and his focus on Murima nonsense risk co-opting the Gen Z movement universal ideals, pulling it back to Kenya's familiar cycle of ethnic-based politics. This shift has frustrated some Gen Z activists who see Rigathi as opportunistic tumbocrat, undermining the push of systemic change, further reinforcing suspicions that he has funded the government to do exactly what he's doing. See? Uliturudisha Shakahola. Mnaanza mambo ya Shakahola. Shakahola bado still exists. I haven't been on any other channels. I don't know what people are talking about nowadays, but anyway, I just stay, Did you learn anything about yesterday, Shared? Annie, what are you talking about? Ashley, are you talking about the Ashley that's Nani? Ambayo Nani Nio, the one that usually contributes on different channels. I don't know what's. Annie able to eleze mambo inaendelea huko. What are you talking about? Tafadhali. So anyway, as Annie anatuelezea mambo inaendelea huko. So basically, Gachagua is deliberately trying to divide the flock, and the flock, this division is aimed at the Gen Zs. Okay, wanajaribu sana. Yeye na Kaluma and the OD wako group moja. Msidanganywe, watu wako group moja. They are one. wanapigiana simu usiku, wanakunywa usiku, but in public wanataka kuleta hii unenio kwa sababu they want to kill that spirit of unity in purpose ya kuleta Wakenya pamoja. Aya, ati nini? Ati Ashley aliturudisha Shakahola huko kwa Njiru. It's on video. Aliwarudisha Shakahola. Ye. Nini tena? Tunarudi Misri tena? Anyway, huko kwa Njiru nilihama bana. I mean, I don't watch it anymore because, you know, yeah, like I said, I've talked about that issue before, so I won't even repeat it here. But you know, hey, if you want to go there and be entertained, it's out. So what transpired anyway? So not to dive the unajua ani akishaingia hapa sasa mambo itachemka na wakipata na gypsy hey. But anyway, so that is what I want to talk about. Gachagua, she couldn't split. What happened? So what did Ashley do? That's interesting. I don't know. I haven't been there. But anyway, Gypsy nasema Uhuru and Raila are working underground to leave Ruto on the latch to sort out the Eurobond trillions and the Uhuru presidency to protect the Kenyatta wealth. Let them fight. Hey, mambo imepambana. Mambo inapambana. Yes. Like I always say, our watu usikizana for the same interest, okay? The Gen Zs are a huge threat to the whole Kenyan oligarchy, whatever, political class as we call them, okay? But even within that political class, there is competition. There is jealousy, there's envy, there's greed and all that stuff. These are thieves and thugs and murderers, okay? So they don't trust each other, okay? Muligongana kwa nini si unipatie tu headline ati unipatie tu ninio inaitwaje highlight nini lifanyika. But anyway, what I was like I want to say, what I want to say, I know it's late in Kenya, so let me just wrap up. So mnyipia mkala murudi kuninio usingizini. So what was I saying? Yeah, even within the political class, the elites, our pia kuna competition yao. Now, like I said, if you look at these three people, well, they're more than three. Let's just use three for the sake of the argument. These three gentlemen, let me not even call it, these three thugs, Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and Kasongo. Okay, bottom line is, she said at us. Oh wow, okay. Okay. Yeah, so the bottom line is the major three people who wield power in Kenya, at least for now, okay? In different various forms. Ruto on paper, he's the head of state, okay? The president. Uhuru Kenyatta is the what do I call him? He represents the Kenyatta family. The Kenyatta family are like the caretakers of this corporation, private corporation, British-owned corporation called Kenya. They are the ones who, when things get thick, they have the money, they know how. And remember when the British, so nakumbuka vile the British and the American representative walienda Ishaweri kukaa chini na Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta was not the president. That's after Ruto became the president. Remember? A few months ago. What do you think they were discussing? Okay? So what I'm saying is this. On paper, Ruto is the president of Kenya, which is the head of state. Who is the head of state? The real chaperone, the real emissary, the real caretakers of this corporation called Kenya, British corporation, that is owned by the British Crown. This company is run by the Kenyatta family, okay? They are the ones who are overlooking what goes on in Kenya to make sure that the interest of the British is met. And of course, they get to do whatever they can, they want as the caretakers. They get paid handsomely. That's why they have vast business and they have billions in Kenya, okay? They run the show there. They actually run the show, okay? On behalf of the British Crown. Go do your history of Nani, of Jomo Kenyatta, okay? That guy he might as well be a black British guy, okay? And there's actually a video that was posted by Gaito, speaking of Gaito, you know, of the day that Jomo Kenyatta was renewed by the Freemasons. What is it called? The night of something, whatever the case. Go to Gaito's page. He has that he has that video clip, okay? So the Kenyatas are the real caretakers of this corporation called Kenya, right? Then Raila Odinga, yule mjamaa wa mtaa, the organizer. Uni mjamaa, you need chaos in the country, you call him, okay? He doesn't care about power. Just give him a couple of carpets, dough, nice cars, and clap for him and make him feel important. Invite him in those big those big meetings. If a president of Uganda kikuja, mpigie simu, okay? Kuna African Union sijui inafanyika wapi, mpigie simu akuje na carpet ndio asalimiane na dignitary. He wants to rub shoulders with the big folks, okay? Ndio maana alikuwa anaenda. In fact, the AU thing, I've explained everything about the AU, okay? He is that guy. But the reason why he's a power broker or a player in this whole setup, power setup in Kenya, okay, hierarchical order, is that he has grassroots mobilization, which is waning because his time is up. But what he brings to the table is this guy learned something very, very early in his political career, that you need allies in every corners of this country. You need intelligence, intel, okay? He explains that. There's one speech that I wish I could have saved it. It's in one of my videos when he was explaining how him and Fred Gumo kind of brought and took over Nairobi. And this is not just one thing, he understands. So basically what I'm saying is this: Ruto, legally, he's exercising the power that is given to him by the people through the ballot. Of course, he lacks legitimacy because people found out that he's a crook, he's a nobody, he's just another murderous dictator, okay? But he kind of has some powers, okay? He can, use the army and the police to brutalize any kind of, Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the representative of the Kenyatta family. That's the guy, when things go off the rails, okay, he calls the British Crown, tells King Charles, mambo inaharibika. Prince Charles anamwandikia cheki, anamwambia, hey, listen, chukua bilioni 6, recruit me some, wafanye hivyo, utengeneze maneno peace ikuje. Lakini Kenyatta atapewa hiyo cheki, Kenyatta atasema, I have the money, but I can't really, I'm not liked. I can't do anything. I can't get this Gen Z to do what I want. I can't do that. So what does he do? Hey, naitwaje? Raila Terengenye. Baron Trump. Okay, I'll look at that. Sana pigia Terengenye mwenyewe. Unajua Terengenye ni mtu wa mtaa, amejua kona zote za Kenya. So kishapigiwa, that's the guy they hire to to kill off any kind of grassroots revolutionary movement that is threatening the oligarchs who are working on behalf of what? Their Western bosses, okay? Colonial powers, okay? I don't know if you guys heard what Macron said. Macron alikuwa anasema ati, Burkina Faso doesn't need to be free right now. We still need to help them. Speaking of that, yeah, najua Okay, I'll come to the question. I see hapa. Mfumo huu lazima uondoke. Ardhi ni ya Wakenya, chakula bure, nyumba bure, afya bure, elimu bure, Afrika moja ya muungano. WS ndio. Na nini nasema ukipata time angalia Baron Trump on about Obama. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do my Googles or my little research and see what's with the Tregenye. Israel. Okay. Najua upendi Matiangi lakini tunaweza toa Ruto na Matiangi 2027. Removing Ruto for Matiangi ni kama kumhepa simba na ushikwe na nyani ama whatever the case is. Like it's being chased from a lion and you jump to the river and you meet the crocodiles. Okay? Matiangi is basically Ruto 2.0. Okay? Let me just say that, okay? Matiangi never respected court orders. There are court orders that are on now that Matiangi has refused to obey. Why should I name you? See, again, Israel, whatever his name is. Yeah, Israel. It is not just about removing Ruto. Removing Ruto is part of the struggle. It's not the end of it. Hatutatoa Ruto alafu tuseme haya tumetoa Ruto kazi sasa mambo imeisha sasa tuendelee mbele. Like Martha Karua was trying to tell us. That's why Kenyans were saying kufa makanga, kufa dereva. See what I'm saying? Kufa makanga, kufa dereva. The point was we are not stopping. The system is rotten. It should be uprooted. Isumu. The whole plant is ninio, is compromised, is poison. So we have to uproot this plant from its roots and throw it away and burn it. Putting Matiangi is like this whole plant is poison, but utatoa tu leaf moja alafu unawacha ninio inaendelea. So no, I do not no. Gypsy Code anasema she's one of 5 people I didn't trust. Taking us back to Shakahola. Did you know that she used to read the paragraphs from a booklet as a submission, and guys took her smart ass Ruto? Ooh, mambo nikani. Shout out to Brother Benson. Yes, shout out to Brother Benson, wherever you are. Shout out to you. I haven't seen him for a while. Yes. From his, yep. Q-Code and other types. Yeah. Q anaita watu sasa. You know, I don't have, Q needs to substantiate hizi ninio. Ukita mtu psyops, okay, kama if you have some evidence that somebody, sisemi ati Ashley is not, I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just saying that if somebody is being paid, ukiniambia ati Shakahola analipwa, tell us where's the evidence. I mean, yes, kuna watu wanalipwa, of course. And I agree with you. There's some people unaingia hapa unasikia vile unaongea, you can say this is the guys, and unaweza kusema definitely this guy is on a payroll. Kuna watu wengine it's not hard to tell the way they argue, alafu wanaleta hiyo mambo ya ukabila, you just know this guy Chali, because there's nobody sane in his right mind can argue the way they argue. And I'm not talking about Ashley in specifically. I'm just saying there are people. Nyinyi ndio mnaniambia mambo ya Ashley hapa. I've never really Ashley nimemuona mara moja. We were in different platforms, but I've never really taken the time to listen to her arguments and know her position. So nyinyi ndio mnaniambia kumbe huko kwa ninio mambo ilichacha. Everything is continuing. Maybe they should vote for MPs from diaspora. Even the Gypsy, to your point, even these MPs, even if you chagua say MPs from diaspora, watarudi na wataanza na ukora. I mean, listen, Saitoti had is it master's or PhD from Harvard? This is a guy who very smart, very, very smart. Okay. And it's not like hajaishi Western, this diasporian US or England, whatever the case is. Even Nani, Kibaki had what? He learned his business in what? London Business School of Business, whatever the case is. Huh? Allow they were diplomatic. It comes with age, no gray hair. So, right. So it all comes down to integrity, doing the right thing when no one is looking. Are you that person? Okay. Like unaona umse anaitwaje who wants to run for Embakasi. He was from US, ako Kenya. What's his name? Which he used to be he was a truck driver. What's his name? He's a very funny guy. What's his name? Cosmo Choi, whatever his case is. This mimi kimwangalia, I just think that immediately he becomes MP if he wins, that is. He'll be no different from the other people. Unajua watu ambao wako principle, they won't even associate themselves with the Kenyan politicians ambao wanafanya hizi vitu. Understand what I'm saying? Utajitoa because you'll be disgusted by what these people are doing. You won't be entertaining at your. That's what I'm saying. Most people from diaspora, they want to come back home, run for MP or whatever the case is, so that they can actually, because you know what? Mshahara ya MP in Kenya is more than the average Joe is getting working in easy jobs huku state or UK or Australia. You understand what I'm saying? Na unapewa sitting allowance na sijui nini, alafu hiyo pesa ya bursary, pesa ya nini, bursary, whatever the case, hizo pesa unataka hizo za CDF. That's why you see these people within 1 month, 2 months, Charlie akona Mercedes. How did you get your money? How did you make your billions? Wewe sijali. Oscar Suli naambia, I don't have to go speak on the ninio. So even now at our diaspora, just because, Meshuko Inje does not guarantee that he or she will do the right thing, okay? Right. Ani naambia, I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's all in the pics. All of the 4 presidents wako kwa pictures are from 30 years ago. Oh yeah, I've seen that picture. Yep. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I think I would also describe myself as a conspiracy. I would be considered a conspiracy theorist. Now the boss is not convinced with the diaspora. Now we nani sisemi ati diasporans. Unaweza kuwa umetoka hata, you can be even in Kenya and still do the right thing. I mean, you can be from anywhere. Una mtu anaweza kutoka hata whichever and do the right thing. It just have to be mpaka uwe mtu ambaye umeamini in what is right and what is wrong. Okay? And it has to be proven. For example, wacha niwapatie example. It's all in the pics. Tafuta clue. Tatafuta. Sahi mkinipatia tuseme milioni 10 million. Okay? Museme hebu wewe pesa ndio hiyo. Tuwekee hii pesa for the next 2 years. If I start changing my tune, ama tuseme Ruto anipigie simu niambia ati chukua 10 million hapo, uache hii mambo yako ya kupiga makelele hapo YouTube. If I change my tune and accept the money, what does that make me? That means I lack what? morals, ethics, integrity. Mina as an into, I'm cheap, I can be bought, which means all this thing I'm saying, I don't mean it. It's nothing. Ni maneno tu. Ni kupiga makelele tu hapa tu, but I don't mean it. That's the difference. You know? You have to mean what you say. Do you believe in this? Do you believe in a country that you can we envision a country where we are fighting, we are against corruption, zero tolerance on corruption, zero tolerance on all this injustice that we have witnessed? Ati Karua anapiga mtu bunduki na, you know, you have to believe in this stuff. Inside of you, it has to be innate in you. You know? But some people wanapiga makelele kwa sababu wanataka pesa. You know, or I might be making noise hapa kwa sababu nataka pesa. Nikipewa pesa naanza kusema mambo mengine. I mean, what does that make me? So it comes from the individual. It doesn't mean that ukiishi diaspora you might, of course it might be a bit different kwa sababu you can see what is stopping us from developing in Africa. You have a different view from somebody who was born and raised in Kenya. But nowadays with the information, even somebody from Kenya can see what's happening. That's why you see these young people with the, you know, this advent of new technology, and the world has become so small. People can see what's happening in the other parts of the world, and they're saying, no, Ibrahim Traore is doing the right thing. I mean, ask yourself, this is what you need to ask yourself. What's the difference between Ibrahim Traore and Ruto? You know, I mean, they're both Africans, or with Uhuru or with Raila, or whatever the case is. What differentiates? Ni mtu Ibrahim Traore believes that, you know, you can stand up for the right thing. You don't have to enrich yourselves with the public money. You don't have to be a sucker for the French or the Western powers. You can do the right thing. So it comes from the individual. Now, to find that person is where the challenge is. Okay. Sawa, mina ani 2027 tuna run. I will not run. Thank you, Gypsy. Unfortunately, people like me and Annie, yeah. The story again. The same in the U.S. Cheney was Bush vice president. Dick Cheney was Bush vice president in 2000, but had been in politics since Nixon in 1976. That is how the game is played. They work in corporations and then politics. Yeah. Douglas, where is Douglas? You can't become a political operator without corporate backing economics, economic, religious, industrial complex. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but there's always a few people who move through the cracks and make it without that. It just depends, but I do get your point, WS Banker. Douglas, karibu, hebu weka like hapo kabla hujaendelea. Douglas anasema, hi, I was in night shift, that's why I was there to enter the show. Hakuna ubaya, we are just, you know, tunaongea tu hapa. Gypsy, the pure ones upatikana huku kwa KR. Shukran Ani. Hapa tuko piwa. Ani anachomanga vitu. Ani sijui unaendanga wapi. I haven't watched nani Shakaola for a while. Shakaola bado anaendelea? I need to see. Asante nani. I'm humble, but I could go down quickly by allowing every Kenyan to have a piece of cake. Hey. Aya, naona hapo. Asante sana. Basi nashukuru. Anyway, wasikilizaji, remember those days mambo ukiangalia mpira unasikia wasikilizaji. Kipindi ni chalala salama. Any guys, it's been a pleasure. I will stop here. It's actually almost 1 hour. It's already 1 hour, so wacha niwaachie hapa. But I really want to special thanks. Wacha niwashukuru. I want to specifically shukuru WS Banker, Annie, sijakuona for a while, Gypsy na kuona hapo, Douglas Kibagong, I want to thank you too for being part of this. Nani mwingine nimekosa? I have my assistant here ameingia. So Israel, hata wewe pia najua wewe ni mtu wa Matiangi, lakini you know, thank you for being part of and kutoa maoni yako. We appreciate you. Anyway, guys, if you're going to watch this on repeat, please do this the new like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the good stuff. Ama namna gani? And tuendelee, let's continue the discussion tomorrow. So you have to put that notification on. So ndio RIP to the Spice presenter. Oh yeah, the Spice presenter. What's his name? I forgot. The guy who died of was it meningitis or something? I watched him a couple of times. That was a sad news. You know, that Spice. I kind of like Spice, not Spice. Spice FM. Well, I like Ndu and what's his name? The CT. I wish Eric would come back. He'll fix the nation here. It's all right. It's all right. But anyway, yeah. Rest in peace. I forgot his name. Nimesahau jina yake. The guy who passed away from Spice FM. I forgot his name. He was already a presenter, I guess. But yeah, wekeni like hapo tafadhali. Nashukuru nyote. Kesho ni walk with Ibrahim Traore, April 30th, as WS Bankers reminded us. Thank you so much. Annie, WS, Douglas, nice seeing you guys. Kila mtu. Let's meet up tomorrow, okay? We can hit notification button so every time I come in, you find me. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's already tomorrow in Kenya, so yeah. Peace.